Yo, what's up SRL League fans, and welcome to round 17 of season 7 of the SRL League F1 Championship. Today we're here for the inaugural Portuguese Grand Prix at the Great Portimao circuit. I'm Sandro Doulis, up in the booth here today. Usually you see me out there on track in the Ferrari next to Dion Stahl, but today I'm going to be in the commentary booth and watch this race from the outside with you guys. And let's hope we are here for a great show. I'm just quickly going to set up the stream and I'll be back in about 3 or 4 minutes. So, Portuguese Grand Prix, first time in SRL, at least in SRL F1. Obviously we've raced twice at the Portimao circuit now in the GT3 Championship on Project Cars 2, but obviously completely different tasks in these super high downforce F1 cars, and will be interesting to see who goes around this really challenging track the best. The drivers will fight a lot of oversteer, especially in the uphill sections of this racetrack. A lot of off-camber corners obviously on this track that will challenge these drivers here today. Still currently here in the lobby, waiting for other drivers to join, and then we'll be good to go soon for our short qualifying session. Can already see a few drivers here in the lobby today. If you're waiting for championship leader Jensen Randall, unfortunately I have to tell you that today Jensen Randall will not be participating in this race. He unfortunately couldn't make it in time, and so the championship leader won't be here today, which will give other drivers opportunities, because obviously, well, if Jensen Randall is on the racetrack, we all know that there's a pretty big chance that he's going to take the win. I mean, he's won all but 3 races so far this season that he's participated in, so that's quite a good statistic. Just heard that one driver is missing an invite, so I'll be back in a second. So with Jensen Randall not being here today, we got Logan Around second in the championship, possibly being able to pick up the pieces. The gap in the championship was quite large, and he probably needs a few more of these races to pick up some more points. But Jensen Randall is also scheduled to do commentary as well. So in these races, Logan Around will also be able to pick up some more points. So this championship might get a little tasty here towards the end of the season. So we're just waiting for the last few drivers to hop into the lobby. Unfortunately, not the biggest grid here today. A lot of situations where drivers had something come up last second. So unfortunately, we won't have a full grid here today. But I think it definitely will be enough to have a decent race here at Portimao. So if this is your first time watching an SRL race, our format is, well, quite league typical. We do a short qualifying session of, I think it's 18 minutes, and then a classic 50% race. I think strategy today should be a one-stop if we don't have a safety car, and I'm saying that because I don't remember the last time out there was no safety car in an SRL league race. So, I mean, there's a lot of runoff area here at Portimao, and you'd think it's probably quite difficult to cause a safety car, but we've seen that on other tracks as well, like France, for example, so it's nothing to say for sure in SRL racing. And it's time to ready up. And we just had Jeremy Pope join last second, so driver count is at 14 now. That's, I think, a decent amount to get some good racing in. And you can see the timer, the countdown at the top of your screen, and this session, this race, this qualifying session, we'd say, is about to get going. It's round 17 of the championship. We got 23 races, so yeah, we're towards the end of the season. Championship not as close as we want, unfortunately, but we've had some incredible races so far this year, and I sure do hope so that we're on for another cracker here today at Portugal. And first of all, let's just watch out what the conditions have for us, and it seems like a sunny sky here in southern Europe. Currently looking at the garages of the cars. As we're waiting for the drivers to load into the session. So blue skies, some drivers won't be happy with that. I've heard a lot of people that wished for wet conditions. Because I think a lot of drivers don't really like this racetrack. Not because it's a bad racetrack, I just think it's really tricky to drive. Especially those uphill sections, like a turn 4 for example. If you get on the exit there, it's really easy to lose the car and go off track and either get invalidated or even spin out. And I think the drivers will be on their heels here today to not get into any issues and mistakes. As we see the Mercedes of Alexei Koivaniemi out on track. There he is. The only Mercedes on track today. As his teammate Jensen Randall is missing this race. Is this the golden opportunity for Koivaniemi to pick up his second race win of the season? That's the question. He has been struggling recently. He hasn't scored a podium since Monza, so that's 5 races ago. Obviously won his first ever race earlier this season. It's Spain, where the two championship drivers Logan Orant and his teammate Jensen Randall crashed out on the run to turn 1 on the wet race start. Talking about Logan Orant, definitely gotta be the favorite for the race win here today, with Jensen Randall not here. As Logan Orant is here and is going to go on his first flying lap, and we will hop on board with him to take you around the Portimao circuit onto the start finish straight. A lot of elevation changes going downhill into turn 1. Keep it on left hand side, 6th gear, down 2 gears. Don't use too much of the exit, don't get it validated. This part is flat, hard braking for this tight hairpin corner. Now get on the power, but be easy through this uphill section, really easy to lose it here. Good job by Orant. DRS straight. Use all the space you got downhill again into this hard braking zone. Easy on the power. Use all the track you got available. This kink is flat out. Little bit of lifting through here. Onto the brakes. Uphill off camber corner. Really easy to lose the rear end. Good job by Orant through here. A lot of elevation changes again. Flat out left kink. Uphill double apex corner. Go right there on the yellow sausage curb. Another flat corner here going to this, into sector 3. This sector is really technical. The tires are screaming for grip, especially for this corner here. It's a little bit banked, a bit like Malaysia, the last corner at Malaysia. And now this last corner is flat out. Top speed, onto the start finish straight. And that is a 1:16.0 by Logan Orant, currently on provisional pole. What can Koivaniemi do? Second. 1.5 seconds off though. As we pick up Falzaresi. Nicolo Falzaresi, the Italian. Going on his Flying lap. It's the Italian's third ever SRL race. Has done a brilliant job so far as he go for a spin into the gravel. Hit the rear end as well, I think. I think he just took too much of the inside curb. As we see the local hero, Ivan Brito, take his Williams onto P4 as he lets a few fast cars by. Obviously Ivan Brito looking to do a good job here today in his home race. He's been talking pre-race about what a great opportunity this is to race at his home track, and that he definitely wants to perform. As we pick up Juraj Marusic, the second Red Bull next to SRL champion Nick van Gelder in that all-Dutch lineup, making his way through the middle sector at the moment. Coming up on his teammate actually, Nick van Gelder right in front of him. There he is, with the number 93 on his Red Bull. Through the final corner, flat out. You want that straight line spin going onto the start finish straight, and let's see what the Season 4 champion can do. Going on his final, on his flying lap, sorry. As Juraj Marusic just took it to P5. Good job by the Dutchman. Van Gelder easy on the power. Doesn't want to get too much of wheel spin there on the exit. DRS open for the second DRS straight. Downhill braking, really difficult to get that apex right. And Van Gelder goes for a spin. I told you that uphill section is so difficult to get on the power. The car wants to spin out there. It's so difficult to handle the grip in that uphill section. Meanwhile, Nicolo Falzaresi made his way back into the pits. He obviously had to abort his lap after that spin as well. Currently in the garage. Jesper Lampinen. He'll stay in the pits because he got a qualifying ban following the incident with his Alexei Koivuniemi last time out at Canada, when Jesper Lampinen really dangerously reversed back on the racetrack and caused a big crash. Max Mulder going on his flying lap in his Aston Martin. Also the only Aston Martin on track here today, as his teammate Theodoris Samanidis, missing this race here today. Obviously Samanidis won 2 races ago at Baku. A little bit of a twitch there on the apex for Mulder. Uphill, does it better than Nick van Gelder a few minutes ago when Van Gelder went for the spin. Middle sector for Mulder. Look clean so far. On board. Gets right on that yellow sausage curb, uses all the track on the inside. Into sector 3 now. Sector 3 is so different compared to the other sectors because it's so technical. Not quite far on the inside, but gets a good run there coming on into the final corner. You want to be right on the inside, don't give up any unnecessary space there. And let's see what Mulder can do. It's P2 for Mulder, front row at the moment. 17.3. Let's pick up Alexei Koivuniemi. Can he answer? He's currently third, 2/10 down on Mulder. I don't know if anybody has something for Orand. He's in a different league right now. Final sector for Koivuniemi. We got yellow flags in sector 1 and 3. As the Finn makes his way through the final corner. Can he get that second place back on the front row? No, he can't. So Mulder stays second for now. Let's see what Dorman can do. improve his lap time, but not his position. Dorman stays. He did improve his position. Sorry, the timing screen was a little bit slow there. Great lap by Dorman. P2 for the German. So he pushes Max Muller out of that front row position. Want to pick up Ivan Brito here. Coming up on Jeremy Pope, who gets out of the way. The American reserve driver. Oh, he gets really far on that inside curb. And he aborts the lap, so he must have had an invalidation there. Cam Weston Edwards, the reserve driver. Back in that McLaren. Always brilliant to see Cameron back here out on the racetrack. That's his 5th race start of the season. Obviously picked up that reserve driver role due to university this season. That Brit going to university obviously doesn't have as much time anymore for SRL League racing, as Alexi Koronemi goes 2nd. Just beats out Christian Dorman, and Nicolo Falzaresi goes 3rd. So good showing by Haas at the moment, being 3rd and 4th. Let's see what Cam West Edwards in the McLaren can do. Looks like he's going really slowly though. Think he aborted his lap. Will he pit or go for another lap? He will pit. See what Dion Star can do. Tight championship fight between the Ferrari team and the Alpine. Obviously, only one Ferrari on the racetrack today, as I'm doing commentary here. So Dion Star has to raise that Ferrari flag on his own. As he takes it into the gravel. Ran a little wide there, as Yuri Marusic has retired from the session. That must have been a crash. It's too early to retire because of a solid lap time. Got 6 minutes left, so there must have been a crash that we've missed. I think Dion Star's gonna pit here. Pick up Yannick Verpeten, who improves to 11th with a 20.1. Still no lap time from Nick van Gelder. There the Dutchman is, obviously spun on his first run. Through the final corner the Dutchman comes. Onto the start, finish straight. And he goes 6th fastest with a 17.7. There's still a lot of time to fight, I think, for the Dutchman. Oh, as he loses on the curb, takes out the 50 meter board and takes a trip through the gravel. Got really loose there on the entry curb for turn 1. I mean, luckily that's his in lap anyway, but not what you want. Meanwhile, Senna Herweier has joined this session as well. So Dutchman making it 15 drivers on the grid. That's Nicolo Falzaresi making his way back into the pits. Logan Orant going on his last run for this qualifying session. And the gap has come down at the front. Alexi Komolemi's last lap was a 16.3. That's only 0.3 off Logan Orant, so might get a little closer than I thought it would. Quite early for Orant to come back out. I think he wants to use that empty and clear track so he doesn't get stuck in any traffic, he doesn't get held up. Kovalemi has now come out as well. Still got 4 minutes left in the session. That's already their 3rd run. I doubt they do a 4th, so interesting strategy by the two favorites. Got yellow flags in sector 3, but that might be cars going slowly. So let's see what Oran can do. Can he improve on his 16.0 as he starts his final qualifying lap? Gear is wide open. Down into turn 1. 6th gear. Seemed a little wide there. Let's hope he didn't invalidate. There is traffic ahead. That's a Haas, I think. It is. Gets out of the way. Good job. There was Nicolo Falzaresi. Also good job by Max Moeller getting out of the way. As Orand is making his way into sector 2 now. The difficult sector 2. Alexei Kovonemi now also on his lap. On board with Orand. Into the double right. A little bit far away from the yellow sausage curb. I think he would want to be closer to the apex there. Good job through there. Now don't run wide through this long right-hander. Goes on forever, it feels like. Into the final corner, flat out, and now it's just a run to a start finish straight. Can Orand improve? He does. 15.8, strong lap. Can Alexei Kovonemi answer? I don't think so. I think he's aboard his lap time. His lap. And that leaves us to the two Hasses to beat Logan Orand, and I don't think they can do it. Still, it's a really strong qualifying session by these two. Picking up Falzaresi here. Falzaresi, a brilliant young driver, as he gets on the power really hard there. On the curve, gets a little loose. Falzaresi just coming off his Italian Formula 2 League Championship a few weeks ago. And I think Falzaresi is aboard his lap. I think he might have invalidated his lap time on that exit curb. Let's pick up Christian Dorman. He's also aboard his lap, so a lot of abortions on that final lap, apart from Logan Orand. See if Max Mulder is still on a lap. Doesn't seem like it. Ivan Brito pits as well. Ken Weston Edwards. He's still going quick. Early on the power. No oversteer though. Seems like he's running a good setup, a really stable setup it seems like. A little bit of correction there on the turn-in. Penultimate corner. Early on the power. Could have been a little earlier I think. Through the final corner. Let's see if Ken Weston Edwards can improve on his P8. No, he can't. He stays 8 for now. So we've got two drivers left that are about to start their lap. There was such a big difference between the favorites, the top 5 going on their lap, and the cars behind going on the lap. So, while Logan Orand is already back in the pits from his stint, Van Helder and Stahl are just about to start their lap. So, really interesting seeing those different strategies. I'm always a favorite of going late because that's when the track is the best, when it's rubbered in. Obviously these drivers going for a little bit of different strategies. Van Helder now on his lap. A little bit of a twitch there on the exit of turn 1. Kovonemi and... oh, as he gets held up there by the Alpine. That was terrible. Who was that? Was that Adelino Ho, I think? Might have been. There might be a report there from Nick Van Gelder. Definitely cost him a lot of time. Let's pick up the on-start here. P9 at the moment. Don't think the Dutchman will be too happy about that. But there's a big gap between him and the next car, which is Ken Weston Edwards. It's 9/10. What can Stahl do? Through the final corner. Improves his lap time, not his position though. Let's see if Nick van Gelder can improve. Currently sitting 7th. He's going to pick up some slipstream here from the Aston Martin of Max Mulder. And Van Gelder stays 7th. So it's pole position for Logan Arand. That's exactly what he needed on a day where his championship rival is not on the racetrack. And yeah, that's it. Qualifying session done. We got a grid. In dying stages, Senna Hervaya also qualified 13th ahead of his teammate Jeremy Pope there. Missed that. Obviously, Hervaya joining mid-session. And that is our starting grid. Logan Arand starting ahead of Alexei Kovanemi. Then it's Nicolo Falzaresi. Great qualifying effort by the two Hasslers with his teammate Christian Dorman just behind. 1/10 is the gap. Then it's Max Mulder in 5th. The local hero Ivan Brito with strong qualifying session in 6th. Then it's Nick van Gelder, the season 4 champion, ahead of reserve driver Cameron Weston Edwards. Then it's the lonely Ferrari of Dion Stahl in front of Yannick Verpeten, who did a decent job here in qualifying. Then it's another local hero here with the Portuguese Adelino Ho in 11th. Jurma Rusic 12th. Senna Hervaya 13th, Jeremy Pope in 14th, and then qualifying ban for Jesper Lampinem, who did not do a flying lap. He starts 15th. Are you guys excited? Because I am. Can't wait for this race. We stay sunny as it seems like. A little bit more clouds I feel like, so track temperature might be going down. It's definitely welcome for tire wear though, so interesting to see what kind of strategies we'll see. I think drivers will go aggressive here with the soft compounds. So we see the countdown at the top of your screen. So drivers are still loading into the session. I've heard a few drivers talk about fuel strategy. It's quite easy to burn fuel on this racetrack, so it will be interesting to see. The game seems to recommend a 2-stop. Don't think most drivers will listen to that. So we got Logan Arand on pole position. He needs to pick up points today. His championship rival Jensen Randall is not on the grid as Jurma Rusic has been disqualified out of the session, so he must have made contact there with Adelino Ho. Alexei Kovanemi, he wants to help out his teammate Jensen Randall here today and take his second win, his second ever SRL League win. Nicolo Falzaresi. Great qualifying session by the Italian, the young Italian. He's been so impressive in his 3 races in SRL so far. In front of his teammate Christian Dorman, puts in another great qualifying performance. The German being really impressive in qualifying, but he needs to pick up his consistency in the races. Hasn't had a finish higher than 10th since Hungary. That's 6 races ago, so he's definitely looking to improve on that today. He's done all he needs to in qualifying. Max Mulder in 5th. Good qualifying performance here by the Dutchman. Ivan Brito on home soil, qualifying 6th. Nick van Gelder, season 4 champion. Only P7. Knowing Nick, I know he's going to fight to get at least into the top 5. Cam Weston Edwards as a reserve driver back in the McLaren, qualifying P8 in front of Dion Stahl. Dion Stahl saying that he doesn't have a lot of experience on this racetrack, on this game. So we're interested to see what the Dutchman can do today. And Yannick Verpeten rounds up the top 10 in his McLaren. So the first two rows are already on the grid as the other drivers line up right now. Oh, excuse me, those were Adelino Ho and Jurma Rusic, who were waiting on the grid, obviously getting disqualified. waiting for the 5 red lights. There we go. 5 red lights are on. And away we go here at Portimao. And it seems like a lot of wheel spin there for Logan Orand, the pole setter. Still gets a decent start. Not a good start by the second half. There's contact with Max Mulder. Few cars going off track. It seems like Ivan Brito and Nick van Gelder. Close between the two Hasses. Max Mulder sticks his nose down the inside of of Nicolo Falzaresi that was. Side by side between Falzaresi and Mulder. Good start by Christian Dorman, who is now third. Also fantastic start by Cameron Weston Edwards, who gained 2 positions, now up to 6th place. Ivan Brito has lost out. He ran wide into turn 1, has dropped down to 10th. There's the Portuguese. Currently battling it out with Nick van Gelder. But it seems like mostly really clean start. No incidents. That's what you want. So Ivan Brito stays behind Nick van Gelder for now. Nick van Gelder runs wide though, and Ivan Brito goes by. Logan Orand already built a gap of 1.1 seconds on Alexei Koivunami. A little bit of shuffling there at the back. Van Gelder losing position after position. And he has to pit, so there must be damage for Nick van Gelder. Oh, that's unfortunate. So early on in the race. Senna Hervaya also in the pits. Must be for repairs as well. It's too early for strategy moves, and he's on the mediums as well, so that's suboptimal for the Dutchman. But it's Logan Orand leading the race. Max Mulder battling with Nicolo Falzaresi. A lot of rear end there from the Haas. But Falzaresi goes back past Max Mulder into P4. Got yellow flags, so Max Mulder's rear end steps out there on the exit. A lot of exit curb there. He gets stuck on that exit curb. Senna Hervaya picks up a 3-second time penalty. Biggest loser of this start, obviously Nick van Gelder. Dropping down to 7th. Great start from Jesper Lampinen, had to start on the back row due to a qualifying ban. He's moved up 4 positions as Logan Orand sets the fastest lap. Also 4 positions gained by Juro Marusic, who is now up into P8. Got a yellow flag, and that's Adelino Ho is retired off the session. Is that going to be a safety car? What has happened to Adelino Ho? It's no safety car for now. As Ivan Brito moves into P7. Three-way scrap here for P9 between Dion Stahl, Yannick Verpeten and Jesper Lampinen. Jesper Lampinen making his way past the Belgian. Now right behind the Ferrari of Dion Stahl. Oh, onto the grass there almost. Oh, and the Red Bull goes for a spin. That's Juro Marusic. I just saw Juro Marusic slide through the grass there. There he is. Recovers to P11 right now, but he's lost 3 spots. I feel like he lost it there on the first apex of that corner. Just saw there in the background. Jesper Lampinen still right behind Dion Stahl. Side by side through the final corner. Jesper Lampinen got the preferred inside line as Cameron Weston Edwards has retired off the session. There he was. He crashed into the pit lane and safety car. We just seen Cameron Weston Edwards wrecked race car on pit entry, so he must have lost his McLaren on the exit of the final corner. Such a shame for Cameron Weston Edwards. It's his 5th start of the season and its 4th retirement as well. Obviously got that great podium at Baku when he finished 2nd. And the Mercedes safety car is now out on track. Let's see what that does to strategy. Cam Weston was running up in 6th position, I think it was. So it was looking good. Already down by 2 cars. Alino Ho retiring after lap 1 and Cam Weston Edwards now out as well after 3 laps. So they had 3 laps on those soft tires plus qualifying, obviously. Will Alexei Koivuniemi follow Logan around if Aran pits, or will Koivuniemi go for the track position? Aran pits. He doesn't, he fakes it. What does Koivuniemi do? Koivuniemi pits. So different strategies for the 2 leaders. This is interesting. Let's see on what tires Koivuniemi will go. Seems like mediums. Other drivers don't pit, at least the 2 Hasses. Max Moeller pits. Ivan Brito stays out. Dion Stahl pits. Jesper Lempinen pits. Yannick Verpeeten pits. So we got split strategies. Few drivers staying out on track. This is really interesting because Logan around now got a little buffer between the fresh tire cars. You got the 2 Hasses and Ivan Brito that remain out on the racetrack. We got everybody going for mediums apart from Jesper Lempinen. He chooses to go on the hard tire, so he's definitely going to the end. Here we have the 2 Hasses running 2nd and 3rd. We see Falzaresi with the wrong racing number on his Haas. He usually has the 21, so it's probably going to be a warning for him after the race. Not too bad though. It's only a warning, but just a heads up that he had the wrong number on the car. So, Koivuniemi goes for the alternative strategy. If there's another safety car, this strategy could come to haunt Logan Orand. Because he needs some green flag runs right now. That's what he needs. Senna Herweier is also gone on the hards actually. I just seen that on the left hand side of your screen. Next to the gaps we can see on what tires the driver's on and how old they are. As it seems like we will have another lap of safety car. Drivers aggressively warming up those Pirelli tires. Ivan Brito, excuse me, staying out on track. That moves him up to P4. Had a good qualifying session in 6, but he dropped down after turn 1. I still haven't exactly seen what happened to him there. I just saw him running wide, and that dropped him down to P10. Now staying out on the racetrack is moving up back into P4, and let's see what he can do out of that good track position. Obviously choosing track position over the tires. Jeremy Pope also staying out on the racetrack. He's moved up into P7, the American, the reserve driver in the Alfa Romeo. He started on those medium tires, so it definitely makes sense that he's staying out on the racetrack. And this was perfect for Nick van Gelder, who needed a safety car after obviously having to pit on lap 1 for that front wing damage. He's now right back up in the game. Well, not right back up at the moment because he still needs to catch up to the safety car queue, but he's back in this. So still haven't seen a notification that the safety car is coming in this lap, so we might have another lap of safety car here. Obviously we want to have all the debris cleaned off the racetrack. Seen a few punctures due to debris already this season. Most notably obviously Logan Orand back at the Dutch Grand Prix when he ran over a front wing and picked up a puncture late in the race, ruining his finish. It'll be really interesting to see how much quicker the medium tires are at this stage. These soft tire runners have around 9 laps on these softs. obviously got 6 race laps on them. Well, more like 4. 2 safety car laps and 3 laps in qualifying. So they're definitely worn out at this point. But Logan Around at the moment is definitely relying on these 3 cars behind him to hold up Alexei Koivuniemi on those fresh mediums. I think Koivuniemi was always going to do the exact opposite of Orand. So if Orand would have pitted, I think Koivuniemi would have stayed out. That's what makes the most amount of sense as well, obviously. How many times we've seen Logan Orand lead early on in these races? But at some point it usually always goes wrong for the American. Either if it's an on-time safety car, a disconnect. Orand has seen his fair share of bad luck so far this season. Hasn't won a race since Hungary. 3 race wins towards his name so far this year, as we see the notification on top of the screen of the safety car coming in this lap. And now drivers gotta be really careful. Logan Orand likes to take these safety car restarts really slowly. I know it's really unpopular under the drivers, because it usually causes a lot of checkups, and there's a massive gap behind. What has happened? I think Nicolo Falzaresi has dropped down the order. There was a massive checkup because of Logan Orand slowing down. And now there's shuffling going on with the positions. Falzaresi has dropped down 13th. What has happened to the Italian? And Van Gelder has retired off the session as Logan Orand gets going for the restart. Hervaya pits for damage. What a chaotic safety car restart. They have 3 wide behind him. With Koivuniemi on the outside against Max Mulder. Ivan Brito sticks his nose down the inside there of Ivan Brito. Hervaya, no, that's Jeremy Pope goes wide. Nicolo Falzaresi has lost a lot of positions. Nick van Gelder obviously retired. We haven't seen what happened to him. It's definitely yellow flags in sector 3. What a chaotic safety car restart. And that's the effect I was talking about. On these safety car restarts, Logan Orand takes it so slowly and drivers hate it. That now leaves Christian Dorman in 2nd place. Alexei Koivuniemi with those fresh medium tires right behind him though. Currently working on picking up what exactly has happened on that safety car restart. We can see on the timing table that Nicolo Falzaresi is picking his way back through the grid at the moment. He's back up into P10. Koivuniemi now right in the slipstream of Falzaresi, of Dorman. Moves to the inside of Dorman into turn 1. He has the preferred line and goes through. And now it's only a 2-second gap towards the race leader, Logan Orand. Senna Hervaya picks up another penalty. That must be his 3rd or 4th already. Max Mulder having a little look there down the inside of Christian Dorman. Max Mulder obviously also being on those fresher tires. He pitted on under the first safety car on lap 4. As despite the older tires on Logan Orand's Alpine, he's still building a little bit of a gap towards Alexei Koivuniemi. At least slightly. As Max Mulder is right behind Christian Dorman. Safety car, not safety car, the DRS gets enabled now. Max Mulder not able to activate it just yet. Still really close, goes down the inside of Dorman into turn 1 and Dorman keeps it around the outside. There's some contact made. Dorman's still on the outside, but Max Mulder got the preferred inside line and is now past the Haas driver. Hard battling between those two. Yannick Verpeten and Nicolo Falzaresi make their way into the pits. Unfortunately missed what has happened there. Gap is staying stable between the two leaders, Alexei Koivuniemi and Logan Around. It's just about 2 seconds. And looking back at the replay right now, Nick van Gelder just lost it through the final corner. I'm not talking nothing with a checkup. He just ran wide and spun and hit the wall on that restart. So tough break for the Dutchman. As Christian Dorman has dropped behind Ivan Brito now, and Brito and Dorman pit. It's their first pit stop of this race. They were still on these old soft tires. So if they already are pitting now, the question is obviously when is Oran going to pit? How long is Oran going to stay out on that old set of soft tires? His pace is still decent. He's still about the same pace as Alexei Koivuniemi behind. And I'm quickly going to invite, as we got yellow flags in Sector 1. That's Senna Herboyer coming back onto the racetrack behind Nicolo Falzaresi. No, that's Christian Dorman, excuse me. And he now got DRS. Won't try something here though. Let's see. Will Logan Oran pit now? Through the final corner. Oran stays out. I'm quickly going to invite Nick van Gelder into the booth. Max Mulder running third at the moment. Dion Stahl with that strategy of pitting under the first safety car has really worked out for the Dutchman. He is now running P4. It's a good run so far by Stahl. We're not even half distance yet, but so far so good for the Ferrari driver. Jesper Lempilam coming from the final grid slot in 15th, already up to 5th. Obviously has pitted for that set of hard tires under the first safety car, and so far it's played out. So that strategy of pitting under the first safety car seems to work out really well so far. The only driver still out on those softs is Logan Oran at the moment, who stays out on the racetrack. Jeremy Pope still also without a pit stop. He started on mediums though, so he's obviously going longer into the race. Ivan Brito picks up a 3-second time penalty. I mean, obviously the drivers that pitted for mediums early on, they're going for two-stop strategy, and I think Logan Oran is going for the one-stop. As Juri Marusic makes his way past Jeremy Pope, who's still on his first set of tires. Oh, Jeremy Pope really close towards the rear end of the Red Bull, as Nicolo Falzaresi makes his way past the local hero Ivan Brito up into P8. As we got Nick van Gelder joining us up here in the booth today. Obviously that's not what the Dutchman wanted so early on in the race, but yeah. Nick, what happened out there? Seeing you retired on the safety car reset, I think you ran a little wide there through the final corner. What exactly happened there?
Yeah, well, actually, I'm not sure, but already in turn 1, I made contact with Ivan, so I had front wing damage and had to pit straight away. And it was really weird because then during the safety car, with the restart, I think Manuel slowed down a lot, so we were suddenly bunched up a lot, and actually Senna drove into the back of me twice. Also because he wasn't really paying attention, and because of that I think I had rear wing damage, and also sidepod damage, somehow.
And Logan Oran is currently making his pit stop onto a set of medium tires. That's seemingly his only pit stop of the race, as it looks like he's going for the one-stop strategy. He's currently dropping down to P5 behind Dion Stahl and Jesper Lempin. Yeah, you're talking about that chaotic restart there. It looked really chaotic on the stream as well. Seemed like, was it Logan Oran slowing down too much? And what happened there with Falsa Raisi, obviously, and Senna Hairwire is now retired of the session. It's been a catastrophic race so far for Hairwire, and it's another safety car. And Logan Oran has just pitted.
That's perfect for him.
That is perfect for him, for that one-stop strategy, obviously. As
I just saw Senna's car, he's at the top of the hill.
Yeah, that uphill section is really difficult to get under power as well. Really easy to lose the car on the exit. Logan Oran just pitted for that set of medium tires, and I'm pretty sure that the leading 4 cars still have to make a pit stop for the two-stop strategy. So this is really played into the cards of Logan Oran.
Yeah, it certainly has. But yeah, it's been a terrible weekend for me. Already in qualifying, I was blocked by Adelino on my fastest lap, and then to have the race end like this. I think I had rear wing damage because of the contact during the stage car period, and then right at the restart in the final corner I just completely lost the back end and crashed through the wall.
Yeah, that's super unfortunate for you, as we see Alexei Kovanemi pitting for another set of medium tires. Max Mulder follows him into the pits. He also goes for softer medium tires, so they make their second pit stop under the safety car, and I'm pretty sure they are going to stay ahead of Logan Oran, or will they? Logan Oran currently on the pit straight. And Oran comes out behind Alexei Kovanemi, so we got a change for the lead. They are on a similar strategy right now, and Alexei Kovanemi jumps Logan Oran through the pit stop sequence.
Yeah, Logan Oran will be looking to score a lot of points today, but of course Jensen Randall's championship rival and the championship leader not participating, so there's a lot of points up for grabs to close in the championship.
Yeah, most definitely. Obviously, this won't be the last race that Jensen Randall will be missing. Jensen Randall has volunteered for commentary at, I think, Mexico it is as well. So this championship might get a little bit more spicy towards the end here, as it hasn't been as close through the last 5 rounds. But we'll see how this one goes.
Yeah, I believe the gap is around 60 points or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite large at the moment. Definitely more than 2 race wins, but knowing Oran, he will certainly not give up, and certainly not give up on this race win, as Kovanemi is looking to take away some points there from the American, obviously trying to help out his teammate Jensen Randall, who unfortunately can't be here today. Ivan Brito on his strategy has not pitted on the safety car, and he finds himself up into P4. So it's really been an up and down day for the Portuguese driver at his home race. Started really well, dropped down after the race start, dropped down to 10th, and now is back up into P4.
So Max Mulder also looking pretty good in 3rd position at the moment, and he's been robbed of quite a few podium positions this season so far, so I think he's going to be quite desperate to finally get a top 3 again. And also, Johan Rus is still inside the points, of course only 11 runners left, but also pretty good chance for the outsiders to pick up decent chunk of points.
Yeah, Marus had a really great race start. He moved up already 4 positions on lap 1, so it was really an optimal start almost for the Dutchman. And we're just talking about podiums for Max Mulder. He has obviously got that really impressive 2nd place back at the Belgian Grand Prix. Last time out, he wasn't there at Canada. He missed the race, unfortunately, and the race before at Baku was a disappointing 11th finish. So he's definitely looking to rebound on those last 2 races, which obviously didn't go too well, scoring no points. But Max Mulder is also looking strong in the championship at the moment, sitting in P6 behind you, obviously.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. And of course, you're having to miss out on a couple of races as well, like this one, but I think this has been a very good season for you as well, sitting in 4th place, pretty isolated, so it's good to see the the old names kind of start to appear at the top of the championship again. Well, not at the top, but somewhere close to it.
I'm definitely happy with the season so far. I think I've scored 6 podiums, and obviously the victory at Belgium. It's gone really solidly. Yeah, awkward situation here.
Yeah.
Nah, but maybe I'm hoping to finish out the season strong. Maybe score a couple more podiums. Obviously, tracks like Singapore and Brazil are coming up, and Suzuka as well. So those are traditionally good tracks for myself. So we'll see how those go.
Yeah, and it's definitely good to have the inaugural race here at Portimao. I think this is a really good track as well for racing and for overtaking, because also in practice with Jura and Max we practice a lot of race runs, and actually this track is really good for overtaking opportunities and switchback lines and stuff like that. So I think there's a potential to definitely see sprint racing as well today.
So we just got the notification on screen that the safety car is coming in on the next lap. So we still got one more lap of safety car to go. The drivers will be warming up these tires more aggressively now. Obviously now it's Koivuniemi who is going to dictate the race restart here, not Logan Arand. I think Alexei Koivuniemi likes to take it a little bit more faster than the American. Talking about driver perspective on these restarts, is it, Dion Stahl has left the session, so there must have been a disconnect from the Dutchman. He's running 6th at the moment. That's definitely not what you want. Let's hope that Dion Stahl can join back into the session rather quickly.
Yeah. And I think he's holding up the pack a little bit as well, because his AI is driving slowly. But hopefully he'll be able to figure it out again and join back before we restart the race.
Yeah, definitely. He's currently running... He was running in 6th place. He's now dropped down to 7th. I think Jesper Lempinen has accidentally overtaken the AI car of Dion Stahl. And I don't think he can give it back because the AI doesn't overtake under the safety car. So let's hope Dion Stahl can join back up on this lap, because otherwise Jesper Lempinen might be looking for a penalty here. Well, let's concentrate.
Yeah, that's a very awkward situation. Yeah, he has dropped back. Okay. So he has dropped all the way back to 11th place. I'm not sure, is he allowed to actually regain those positions again, or does he need to stay there now?
I haven't seen how he lost those positions. If the AI spun or went off track, obviously that is just bad luck for him.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think he's allowed to get back in position. I just don't know if he knows that. And obviously, he's 6 seconds behind Nicolo Falzaresi at the moment. There's not a lot of time to get back in position. So tough break there for Dion Stahl.
So getting ready for the restart. Alexei Koivuniemi leading the way. We'll see when he actually drops the hammer and decides to go. Logan Roll in 2nd place and Max Mulder in 3rd. Coming to the final corner. They still haven't gone yet. I think now Alexei Koivuniemi has pressed down the throttle and the race is back underway.
Green flag. Logan Arand looks to the outside there of Alexei Koivuniemi. Max Mulder really close towards the American. But everybody is in position. Logan Arand so close behind the rear end of the Mercedes. He looks for the switchback going into the uphill section now. Down towards the inside now. It's side by side going to the hard braking zone. Downhill. Logan Arand got the preferred line. Alexei Koivuniemi looks to keep it around the outside, but Arand seems to be through.
Great racing between those two. Great moves out from Logan Ron to get that position up to the lead of the race. We'll see if Alexei Koivuniemi will have anything to respond with, as we see Jeremy Poe pick up a time penalty. Still Max Mulder as well in 3rd position. But will Logan Ron be able to actually pull the pin and pull away maybe? Because of course DRS hasn't been enabled yet now with the safety car restart. So might be an opportunity for him to get a little bit of an air gap between him and Alexei Koivuniemi.
Yeah, really impressive job by Arand as well. Obviously the safety car hasn't been activated. It didn't seem like he was that close going into turn 1, but I think Koivuniemi took a little bit of a defensive line going to turn 1, and that might have compromised his run into turn 3, which obviously set up the switchback move for the American Logan Arand, who is now back up in the race lead just like it was before the safety car.
Also further back we can see Dion Stahl and Manuel fighting each other on the back straight. Jumers is taking a bit of a defending line into turn 1. We'll see if he is able to actually brake later than the Haas. Still side by side. Almost contact between those two. As Jurgen Brisic drops to 8th place.
Obviously Falzaresi trying to get back in the positions he was running in earlier. Obviously running top 3 early on in the race, but then had some tough luck there under the safety car. I was going to ask you early on, do you know what happened there to Nicolo Falzaresi? He seemed to slow down right before the first safety car restart, and I didn't really pick up what happened to him.
Yeah, I don't know. He just suddenly slowed down, and of course, that caused everyone else behind him to slow down too. So that was very weird. Suddenly there was a big gap between like the front half and the second half, and yeah, suddenly we were all just standing still in like the penultimate corner, and I don't know why or I don't know what happened. It wasn't like he spun or anything.
Might have been a technical failure, maybe a wheel disconnect or something similar. I think you've happened. That's something that happened to you before as well. I think so.
Yeah.
That's obviously always an option that can happen. Difficult, tough break for the young Italian who's done a stellar job in his 2 races so far in the SRL League Championship. Obviously finishing 4th left the last time out at Canada. As we see Christian Dorman and Ivan Brito side by side. Dorman got back up into P4 there, just before turn 1. Good job by the German there. So Ivan Brito's looking not close enough there for a move down the inside. Got yellow flags. And
that is Nicolo Falzaresi.
Yeah, Nicolo Falzaresi. We're just talking about him.
That's the commentator's curse.
It is. Not the first time today, unfortunately.
Oh, his retard overheated. Oh, he spun synchronized spinning with Jeremy Pope. He just spun at the exact same moment. I've never seen anything quite like that. That was synchronized spinning come out of turn 2. Oh, and he spun
goes again. Yeah, those tires are absolutely cooked. This is a really tough situation. I've been there before. We've all been there before.
Yeah,
if you spin once, these tires are absolutely cooked. And now we just got to take it easy for the next few sectors and maybe laps.
Yeah, it looks very embarrassing, but it is so easy to do when your tires are like 115 degrees.
Definitely. Yuri Marusic takes a trip down the grass. Jesper Lampinen now right behind him. I think he was battling with Ivan Brito. He obviously lost it early on as well. I think in the same corner. It's all kicking off now on lap 20 or 33. The gap between 2 leaders is within a second. So Alexei Kovanemi is staying within that DOS window at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like Max Mulder is struggling slightly more to keep up with the pace of the 2 at the front. 2 seconds between him and Alexei Kovanemi. And he's on his own highlight a little bit because there's also a 3.9 second gap to Christian Dorman in 4th position. As we can still see Music and Jesper Lampinen is all battling it out for 6th place.
Would be a great result for Jesper Lampinen, who obviously had that qualifying ban and started from the last grid slot. He now got DRS again, going to that downhill braking zone. Not close enough for now. Obviously it's quite difficult to overtake in that middle sector, but you need to stay close to set up a move, possibly into turn 1.
And it looks like Logan Ron is trying to break Alexei Kovanemi. The gap is now over a second, so he has managed to stretch himself outside of that DRS 1 second window for now. But yeah, Alexei Kovanemi certainly isn't letting him go easily, and yeah, the pace is certainly held at the front.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by Kovanemi, who seems to be a little bit more up to pace on this stint. I think the last stint on soft tires, Logan Orant was about 2 tenths per lap quicker. Currently, Alexei Kovanemi keeping it up. Talking about that though, Logan Orant just set the fastest lap of the race with 18.7.
Yeah, he really is trying to stretch him, isn't he? He's trying to just break outside of the DRS 1 second window. Music also 6 tenths clear now of Jesper Lampinen. We'll see if he can get put under pressure as we go into turn 1. It looks like he is far enough in front. Leon Stahl as well in 8th place, trying to recover from that moment he had during the safety car where he disconnected. And he is followed by Yannick Verpeten in 9th place. And we have Jeremy Pope and Manuelito, also known as Nicolo Falzaresi, who has actually decided to pull into the pit lane now. So that might be because his tires are just cooked. I don't think he has any damage.
Yeah, that must be because of the cooked tires. Falzaresi making his way in the pits. He must be hoping for a safety car at this point. And I talked to him pre-race. He said he doesn't have a lot of practice at Portugal, but he was looking forward to this race, and he proved that he got the pace in qualifying and early on in the race, but unfortunately it hasn't gone his way through the last 10 laps. It's gone downhill obviously ever since that problem on the restart.
And also the scrap for 4th position between Christian Dorman and the home driver, Ivan Brito. They're very close to each other as we come into start-finish straight, and Ivan Brito will have DRS
And there's been a move for second place as Alexei Kovalenko goes on the pits for soft tires. That's a really surprising strategy there from the Finn. I just seen him drop down to 2.5 seconds behind Orand, and now, yeah, Kovalenko pits for softs, drops down to 5th.
Okay, so, I mean, I think most drivers are still yet to pit because I think most drivers pitted during the first safety car, and of course it's very long to stretch it from that on medium, so I think he's just trying to do the undercut, expecting Logan Rond to pit for softs as well.
It might be it. It definitely was a strategy call. There was no front wing change or something similar, so yeah, Kovalenko going on to softs.
Very interesting. He is the first one to pit the soft tires. We'll see if Logan Rond will actually respond on this lap to cover up the undercut, or if he's just gonna carry on and stay out on those older mediums.
I think if he doesn't, that must be him going to the end possibly, because I wouldn't understand as Jeremy Pope retires of the session. And is this going to cause a safety car possibly? That would be perfect for Logan Orand. Doesn't seem like it. It's only yellow flags. And Logan Orand stays out. So I think if he stays out now, then he's going towards the end of the race. Because otherwise this would not make sense to not cover off the undercut from Alexei Kovalenko.
Yeah, he must just stay out. Now he's committed, isn't he, to stay out. He can't pit now.
Yeah, absolutely. Jesper Lampinen still within the DRS window of Jure Marusic, but seems to be a little bit far away. I think Jure Marusic might be running a low downforce setup there, because despite the DRS on the front straight, Jesper Lampinen wasn't getting a lot closer there towards the Dutchman. As
they all run wide.
Yeah, they all run wide there. As he now got his mirrors full of Alexei Kovalenko. There's a look down the inside. Oh, almost runs into the back of him and picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's not ideal.
Yeah, Alexei, of course, he's in a rush now to get through because he's getting held up by those drivers. He's on much faster tires. So, yeah, he's definitely in a rush to get past those two to lose as little time as possible. And also now, of course, with Alexei Kovalenko pitting, the battle for
the outside there through the kink. What a move there by Alexei Kovalenko. Getting past the Finn.
Nicely done. Now he's got Jure Marusic in front of him. Let's see if he's just going to wait for the straight race, or if he's actually going to try and risk something in the penultimate or final corner here. As I get my words out.
Goes towards the outside of Jure Marusic through the penultimate corner. Obviously got more grip on these soft tires. Not close enough.
Couldn't make it work there. On the outside and final corner, maybe he can cut back to the inside line. No,
there's contact made!
He is forced to the pit lane.
And Marusic has retired off the session.
Goodness me, what has happened to you? Oh, he's in the wall there on the left.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. They just bounced off each other. Alexei was forced to the right and Jure was forced to the left.
Safety car as well. I think Marusic might have gotten loose there on the exit.
Yeah, he must have. Wow, they just bounced into the opposite direction. Incredible. And Alexei, I mean, he is kind of lucky that he was, well, pushed into the pit lane onto the wall, but that was really bizarre.
I've never seen an incident like that.
Alexei kind of has a free pit stop, so I think, unless he has floor damage or sidepod damage, which could be the case, I think he got away lucky with that.
Yeah, definitely that he actually like spun into the pit lane. That definitely helped out Alexei Kovalenko. What a bizarre incident. And I think Logan Orand might be going to the pits here. Let's see what he does. He does.
Yeah, I think he will, yeah.
So I imagine onto the set of soft tires, he got a 9-second gap of Max Mulder. Let's see if Max Mulder goes for the track position.
He doesn't. This time he does actually decide to pit.
He does, yeah. Will anyone go for track position?
I mean, it will be a short restart, right? Like, we will probably have like 5 laps. Yeah, because Christian Dorman actually decided to stay out, as has even Vito.
Will that give him the lead? It's going to be really close.
Yes,
just about does. Christian Dorman takes the lead.
Just taking the lead, just put out in front of Logan Orand.
I think he might have stretched the delta there, which is a clever thing to do if he now slows down and gets back under the delta.
Yeah, that was pretty close, but Christian Dorman in the lead of the race. Even Brito, the home favorite, in third position, also looking pretty good. Of course, with Alexei now down the order. And I think there's going to be like a 6-lap sprint race at the end or something like that.
Yeah, Dorman and Breacher will be looking to hold on. They are on 14-lap-old medium tires, fighting against everybody on fresh soft. So,
yeah, I mean that's going to be extremely difficult to hold on to, of course. But I like the gamble.
definitely, most definitely, yeah. We've seen so much drama today and so many incidents. I think going for track position might not be the worst thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is a bit of a risk, but it could pay out. Especially, I mean, I don't know if it is possible to actually have another safety car after this, but you never know what happens. And we've certainly seen enough crashes today in the first 26 laps.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was Baku when staying out on the safety car was basically the possibility to win the race, because we had so many safety cars back then. So you never know as Sander Haywire joins back in the session, but he's obviously out of the race. So this is interesting. Christian Dorman will dictate his first ever SRL League restart here in a few laps. Let's see how the German does handle the pressure.
Yeah, and also a golden chance for Logan Ron to close in on 25 points on Jensen Rando in the championship. Of course, it will still be a big gap, but I think it is gonna also almost become a bit of a mental game, knowing that Jensen Rando is gonna miss at least another 2 races to get within like 45 points or whatever it will be when he closes in by 25. Is definitely gonna, well, make it closer and maybe also put Jensen Rando on the pressure a little bit.
And if we look at the current penalty situation, obviously Logan around being in a really good position without any penalties at the moment. Everybody else has a penalty apart from Max Mulder as well. So Max Mulder looking strong here for a possible podium.
Yeah, I mean, with those safety cars, of course, it is a massive benefit to not actually have any penalties because the field is so bunched up. So, yeah, absolutely. I think yeah, Max Mulder definitely has a good chance for podium indeed.
So I think everybody has bunched back up. Now I think Nicola Falzaresi still needs to catch up to the queue, so we might get another lap of safety car added. That is definitely going to help out Christian Dorman.
Yeah, I think Nicola Falzaresi will be fine to actually make it for the restart.
We're talking about Falzaresi earlier, obviously he needed that safety car, and he got the safety car he needed. I think Falzaresi, pace-wise, should be able to move up a few positions. If he doesn't run into trouble. Obviously he had a really trouble-filled race so far.
Yeah, I think his pace is very good. It's just down the order because he had some incidents and mistakes, but if he can catch up to the queue now, he can definitely have the potential to move up a few positions and get back inside the top 5 maybe. Something along those lines.
Yeah, Falzaresi, really great young kid. You've raced in a local Italian Formula 2 league until a few weeks ago. Won the championship there. Seen him on stream. He was really happy about that championship win, and he's now in SRL and is looking to stay here for the next season as well, as we get another lap of safety car.
Yeah, so he did make it to the queue, but of course he has all the time left now because there's another lap. So it is gonna be a 5-lap sprint probably.
I think we have to talk about Yannick Verpeten here. Obviously, Yannick Verpeten struggling for most of the season, but currently running in P8, and that would be a great points haul for the McLaren driver. Let's see if he can hold on.
Yeah, and also just 1 3-second penalty, so he can also possibly jump Jesper Lampin if he can stay within 3 seconds of him. So yeah, it's also a good chance for him to pick up a solid bunch of points.
Yeah, last time out of Canada, Verpeten scored his first SRL points in almost 2 years, so that would be impressive if he picks up another 4. As Falzaresi gets stuck on the curb there.
He's stuck. No, okay, luckily.
Oh, he gets it moving.
Yeah, I was worried for a second he was going to actually be stuck there.
So I think
That
the
would
amount
have
of
been the worst way to actually end a race.
the amount of spins Falzaresi is having, I imagine he might have some floor or side pod damage.
Yeah, probably. To spin like that on the safety car while not pushing. Yeah, he probably does have some damage.
So we're coming closer to the safety car restart now. How are the nerves in these situations starting a race? Obviously you got a lot of experience restarting races in first place. If you're a leader, do you prefer going quick, or do you like slowing down the grid the way Logan Around does?
Yeah, I think you're trying to just search for a way to gain out of it as much as possible. So just try to slow down and go everybody asleep and go when nobody's expecting it. And but I think it is certainly a little bit nerve-wracking, especially for someone like Christian Dorman who hasn't really been in this situation before, leading as well. It is, yeah, quite scary to actually dictate the restart and find the perfect moment to go. And I think it's going to be pretty exciting to see what he can do now.
He goes now.
How well he will be able to defend.
And I think he's done a really good job.
Yeah, actually, yeah, he did. He does have a couple of turns of Logan around the battle for third place as well between Max Mod and Ivan Brito.
Oh,
Max
some contact.
Squeeze to the right. Ivan Brito doing well to defend that position. He's going to be keen to get the podium in his own race. Max Mulder on the inside, and also...
And there's a move for the lead. Logan Around has gone around the outside of Christian Dorman on those fresh soft tires. Great job by the American. Christian Dorman now trying to hold on for second place. He got Max Mulder on his inside. We can further back see a battle for third place. Max Mulder going up into second. And it's Alexei Kovanemi already going up into fourth place as he just got past Ivan Brito.
What a restart from Alexei Kovanemi. Also a great move by Max Mulder Textbook there up the inside into the hairpin. But Alexei Kovanemi has really recovered well, up to fourth place already. And he's probably not gonna find it too hard to get past Christian Dorman because he's on those older and harder medium tires. So I think Alexei Kovanemi might be able to wait for the straight and make a move into turn one. But yeah, of course, there's a massive difference in tire life and tire compounds.
You can see the amount of anger Alexei Kovanemi must be racing with, and knowing this from a racing driver perspective, if you get into some trouble, into an incident, and you get an opportunity to race again after a safety car, you just push on so hard. And you can see that from Alexei Kovanemi as he's now looking to regain a podium spot. He's in the slipstream of Christian Dorman, moves down the inside into turn one, and is past the German. And behind him we can see Ivan Brito and Dion Stahl battling it out. Dion Stahl around the outside of the Portuguese. The Portuguese got the preferred inside line, but the fresh tires work out better for Stahl, and Stahl is up into fifth. And now Ivan Brito got his mirrors full of the Italian of Nicolo Falzarese.
Oh, Falzarese almost ran into the back of Ivan Brito. That was really close. That was almost a carbon copy to what Alexei did a couple of laps ago.
Yeah, exactly. And what Jensen Randall did as well in the GT3 Championship a couple of weeks ago. What a scent there by the Finn.
Yes, Lampinen sliding it through on the inside.
But if we look at the lead of this race, Logan Orand leading the way, 1.5 seconds ahead of Max Mulder. Those two without penalties as well. So it will be interesting to see if Alexei Kovanemi can get by Max Mulder here and possibly build a gap of 3 seconds. I don't think that's possible in 3 laps, but we've seen some crazier things in SRL racing before, so...
Yeah, this is Logan Orand's race to lose now. He's 2 seconds clear at the front and he's looking set to win this race now. Alexei Kovanemi might have a small chance to get up into second if he can indeed pass Max Mulder, but it is a tough ask to pull away by 3 seconds. I don't think that's going to happen. Dion Stahl also doing well to defend 5th position from Ivan Brito, and also Jesper Lampinen and Nicolo Falzarese behind him.
Ivan Brito also got 9 seconds with time penalties, so currently it's not looking ideal for the Portuguese on home soil, as Alexei Kovanemi makes a little bit of contact there with Nicolo Falzarese as they go down the downhill hairpin. Falzarese goes a little bit deep there, but stays in P7 for now.
Alexei Kovanemi right at the back of Max Mulder now for second position, 7 tenths between those two. Of course, also yeah, Alexei Kovanemi with that 3 second time penalty, so I'm not sure. It could be that Max is also into warning, so maybe Alexei could try to actually force him to push and maybe get a track limit warning as well to get a penalty for his chances to well, get another couple of positions and finish in second place.
Yeah, Max Mulder has been in that position before when he picked up a warning on the final lap. I don't quite remember which race it was, but he picked up a warning and got a penalty and then lost the podium due to that. I can't remember which race it was, but...
Was it Abu Dhabi? Or
might have been Abu Dhabi, yeah. It's been that season.
It was you who capitalized on it, wasn't it?
Yeah, right, wasn't it? Yeah.
yeah.
Kovanemi now right behind the Dutchman. So close. Can he try and make a move down the inside into the hairpin? It's too far back at the moment.
And Nicolo Falzarese just got through on Ivan Brito as well, down into turn 1, up into 6th position, now behind Dion Stahl. Very good grab here for 5th position.
And Kovanemi on the second DRS straight moves down the inside of Max Mulder. Max Mulder leaves enough space And Kovenemi is through up into P2.
Yeah, I think Max Mulder, of course, knows about his penalty. He's just going to try and stick with him now and not pick up any further warnings to be within a chance of that second position. But yeah, they're looking very good for a podium.
He got 1.5 laps to go and just needs to stay within 3 seconds of Alexei Kovenemi to get that P2 finish.
Yeah, a bit of a disappointing drive from Ivan Brito in his home race. I think he would have been expecting more from this. He is currently 7th place with a 9-second penalty. He's probably going to drop behind Jesper Lampion and Yannick Verpeten. So, yeah, bit of a disappointing home race for him, but that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. And I think the closest bet on track at the moment for position is between Ivan Brito actually and Nicolo Valseresi for 6th position.
As Max Mulder makes a move on Alexei Kovenemi. That's surprising. I did not expect Max Mulder to fight for that position. He does though. And he's now back up into P2. Maybe he wants to, yeah, do it on track.
Yeah, that's surprising indeed, but maybe also with the fair figure of penalty, of course it is better to actually be in position, but it is surprising that he's able to stick with Alexei and actually re-overtake him.
Most definitely, as Ivan Brito has picked up another 3-second time penalty. He's now up to 12 seconds worth of time penalties.
Yeah, he's surely going to drop back to last position, unfortunately, but of course with all the retirements, he's still going to pick up 2 points.
But meanwhile, Logan Orant has moved out. He is 4 seconds ahead of this battle for second. There the American is. It's not been quite the season he wanted. Last 3 races have been quite difficult for the American, but today he's been absolutely masterful. As he makes his way through the final corner, Logan Orant is going to win the Portuguese Grand Prix, the inaugural F1 Portuguese Grand Prix. It's the 4th win of the season for Logan Orant. And it's a 2nd place for Max Mulder. Great job by the Dutchman in front of Alexei Kovenemi, who recovers to 3rd place. Christian Dorman on the alternative strategy finishes 4th, ahead of Dion Stahl. The teammate of Christian Dorman, Nicolo Falzaresi, actually gets a top 5 finish here due to penalties in front of Dion Stahl. Yannick Verpeten with a super impressive 7th place in front of Ivan Brito on home soil. What a race!
Yeah, later on, he has done everything that he needed to do to keep that championship hope alive. He hasn't put a foot wrong today, and that was certainly a very impressive run from him. Really good pace yet as well to pull out by 4 seconds on Alexei Kovenemi and Max Mulder, who we know are also very fast drivers. So, yeah, absolutely perfect race for Logan Ron. Well done to Max Mulder for clinching 2nd place and another podium, and also Alexei Kovenemi picking up a decent podium as well, and a good 15 points. And yeah, a good race from Yannick Verpeten. I think he really capitalized on just not having a lot of penalties and of course benefiting on a lot of drivers around him actually having more penalties than him. So yeah, very decent 7th place for him.
Yeah, and Max Mulder equaling his best ever SRL League finish as well. Obviously when he picked up the P2 finish at Belgium it was. So good job by the Dutchman.
And also a lot of retirements. I think a lot of the drivers who haven't reached the finish are gonna be thinking what could have been, also with just 9 finishers. But yeah, it's all about ifs, buts and maybes, but you do have to cross the line to actually be classified, and unfortunately we only saw the top 9 finish. But definitely an interesting race also with the safety cars, and yeah, from a neutral perspective it is good to see Logan Rowe winning, but also to just yeah, still have a bit of tension in the championship, let's say.
Yeah, definitely. For the championship, this was perfect seeing Logan Orant win, and he definitely earned that win. He dropped down to 2nd due to a strategy, that untimed safety car, the 2nd safety car, but he moved up into P1 so quickly, and I think he did a great job today, obviously deserving this race win, his 4th win of the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah. That's been round 17 of the SRL League F1 Championship, Season 7. I'm glad you were able to join me here up in the booth for the 2nd half of the race. I'm sure that you are not glad about that, because you obviously would have rather been on the racetrack, so myself as well, obviously. But I think it was fun seeing that race finish from the outside perspective as well. Any final words from you?
Yeah, no, yeah, of course. I mean, you know what it feels like, and I think we are both kind of similar indeed in the way that we both prefer to be on track. But yeah, sometimes it doesn't go your way, and it was indeed also enjoyable to actually watch the race and commentate with you. So cheers for the invite as well to have me up here in the booth. And yeah, another interesting race, and well, another interesting championship, to be honest. Of course, it is already round 17, so only 4 rounds left after this one, I believe. But yeah, I mean, there's still a chance that we could maybe see things turn around. But yeah, of course, Jens Randall is gonna be back probably for the next race. I'm not sure where it is. Of course, we also have Jeddah, Mexico, and Brazil left. And yeah, I mean, it was good to watch the final 3 quarters of the race here in the booth. And cheers for having me.
Yeah, no worries. Jens Randall won't be back on the racetrack for the next race. He'll be actually in the booth next time out at Singapore. So
oh yeah, Singapore, that was the one I forgot about.
I think that's a really enjoyable race as well. Well, thank you guys for tuning in here today for the live stream. Obviously, leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel to see more SRL League racing. We'll be back next week at the Singapore Grand Prix. Make sure to check out the links down below in the description. Instagram account, always great for news and little highlight videos, results. You can all find that on there. Also the website, check out the website for the schedule for former and past results and standings. Yeah, I've been Sandro. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.